over to you, Thalys, anytime.
Okay, first of all, hi, and thank you for joining us. I was expecting family and friends as far as Brazil and the US and Europe, but they might be joining us later on. So again, a huge thank you for showing up this evening. I feel very grateful to be here and thank Rita so much for inviting me to talk this evening and for such a noble cause in helping our brothers and sisters in Beirut. When Rita was looking for experts and asked me, the first thing I told Rita is, I am by no means an expert, and especially on the subject of love. And so, well, here I find myself sharing a journey that I hope we will all take together. As one of my favorite spiritual teachers is a gentleman called Ram Dass. And Ram Dass said that at the end of the day, all we're just trying to do is walk each other home. And this walk feels so lovely being taken with you. And it's a walk to the heart. And I hope this journey we will take together somehow will resonate with you. I will begin by sharing a story that happened to me when I was 14 years old. I had just come back from school, and my mother said, Thalys, Thalys, guess what happened? I said, what, Mom? Joseph, by the way, knew my mom very well. She said, Thalys, I heard a noise in my bedroom. And then what happened? Well, I went into the bedroom and I looked under the bed, and there underneath the bed was a stranger. Oh my gosh, I thought. Luckily, he didn't assault my mom and he fled the scene. My mom obviously reported the incident to the police, and about a week later, she received a phone call to identify the possible suspect. And they lined up various people there, and my mom quickly identified the burglar. And it's what she did that left a lasting impression with me that I share with you this evening. And that is, she told him, young man, I forgive you for what you did. And she gave him the Bible. She was a very religious and spiritual woman. And she said, Thalys, the lesson here is not to hold a grudge or hate against anybody. And when you forgive others, you are free. And so to this day, the lesson of forgiveness remains embedded, tattooed on my heart. About 2 years ago, moving on to the second story now, I went to the village of Calojoryo. Again, my friend Joseph there is a new villager of Calojoryo. And I took my family with me to spend the afternoon there. And the girls got hungry. So I said, no problem, girls. I'll go down to the grocery store and get some groceries. Well, Daddy went to the grocery store, but the grocery store was closed. Oh no, three hungry women. What could I expect when I go back home? But on the way back home, there was a lady who saw me and said, "Are you the son of Daphnis Panagidis?" I said, "Yes." "Oh my God, I love your dad. He's incredible." And she went on and told me about all these amazing stories about my dad. And of course, I was getting a bit hungry, and I said, "Well, the situation is we have no food." "Oh, don't worry, don't worry." She came out with a bag full of food, was so generous. And just before I left the house, she said, "Talis, mono y agapi meni," which means, Maya, only love remains. I thought, wow, what a beautiful thing to say. Then I took the groceries back to the girls. They were all happy. And then a week later, I get a phone call from Sophia. And she said, Talis, I found your phone number, but I lost your father's phone number." I said, "Wow, how could that be? Aren't you friends with my dad?" "Well, can you give me his phone number?" And so I gave Sophia his phone number. And the last thing she said again was, "Don't forget, Thalis, monon y agabi meni. Thalis, only love remains." Wow, the second time felt like it was beginning to click what this meant. Then a few months later, my father fell ill, seriously ill. And we went to visit him at home, and he was lying in the bed. And we were essentially preparing him to go to the hospital the next morning. And my father oddly asked to speak with Sophia. I thought that was so strange. Of all people, my dad knows hundreds and thousands of people around Cyprus, around the world. Why, of all people, would he want to speak to Sophia? Well, he spoke to her that night to tell her that he would be in the hospital the next morning. Well, the next morning arrived, but it arrived without my father. My father departed. And I can only imagine it was because he would want to hear the words of Sophia and tell him, "Daphne, only love remains." And of course, we know that those words were also written by St. Paul, Corinthians 13:13, where he says, "These three things remain: faith, hope, and love. And the greatest of these is love." So I was blessed to be grown up in this kind of environment. And I will like to share a picture here if I can manage it. Just a second, please bear with me. Okay, can you see it? Just a minute, please bear with me. Can you see it? No, just a...
Yes, no.
Okay. So you can see this beautiful plaque on the top of the door that says, "Love one another." These are perhaps the three most important words ever uttered in human existence. And they were the last words, perhaps one of the last words Jesus told his disciples during the Last Supper. And I just wanted to share this to show you the kind of house I grew up in. Well, a few weeks later, when I was sorting my father's papers, I came across, let me close this here. Okay, and we go back. Stop share. Okay. I came across a piece of paper with all of my dad's passwords. And you can guess what his passwords to all 30 or 40 websites were. Agape, Agape 123, love 123. So a lot of love going around the place. But I began to think how, wait a minute. We all come pre-installed with an incredible playlist with song titles called compassion, forgiveness, empathy, acceptance, non-judgment. And wow, how beautiful and life seems, and so much lighter when we play those tunes every day. They're inside of us. But if you don't play love, then begin to feel a bit of the weight. If you don't play acceptance, oh my gosh, it hurts even more. Why did they do that? Why did he or she or they do that to me? If you don't forgive, it hurts even more. Well, the reason we don't play this all day, it's a huge challenge. I picked up on it, of all places, in business school. You know, I learned maybe 3 or 4 things in business school. 4 years of university, but 3 or 4 things stuck out. And one of them wasn't even in class. It was in the library of the university. And I was going through a magazine called the Harvard Business Review, a very well-known business publication. And in this publication, there was an illustration that sheds light and explains why we suffer. And I will share with you that image. Can you see it? Okay, great. I want this to settle in a bit. Take a look at this. That person sitting on the chair, that's you and me. And the cages are our thoughts. They are the opposing, the other, the Democrats, the Republicans, the Muslims, the Christians, the black, the white. They are everything we are against. And these thoughts eventually enslave us. Okay, let me escape. Okay, that's not to say thoughts are a bad thing. Not at all. We need our brains as long as they serve us. But the problem is, everybody, is sometimes they hijack us, they take over us, and we become their servants. Our thoughts become our masters, manipulating us, dictating behavior, all causing pain and suffering. But remember, we have that wonderful playlist. But if we don't play those love songs that come from the heart, we have a backup track, everybody. The divine universe is so amazing that if we don't play those songs, love, compassion, forgiveness, empathy, they have a song, and it's called the Song of Pain and Suffering. Yep. Now, that's a song we don't normally dance to. That's a song we normally cry to. But as the Buddha said, life consists of 10,000 joys, and those 10,000 joys are everything that are usually heart-based. But also, he said, 10,000 sorrows. And those 10,000 sorrows are caused by the chaos, the circus in our mind. It's one of the greatest paradoxes, if there ever was one, that suffering actually is a gift. Because suffering, we hope, will not cause a breakdown, but a breakthrough, a rebirth. Suffering will give you the keys. You remember the illustration of being in prison? Hopefully, to unlock the prison and the walls fall down. And when they fall down, you are free. I'm going to share 3 incredible quotes that encapsulate everything about suffering. You don't have to go to university to spend thousands of euros to study psychology. It's in these 3 quotes, incredible quotes. One of them is by Rumi. Rumi is an ancient Persian mystic, and he said, "The cure of the pain is in the pain." Write that one down because it might not sink in the first time. The cure of the pain is in the pain. Whoa, wow. And then my dear friend, spiritual teacher Eckhart Tolle said that pain is necessary until it is no longer necessary. Isn't that beautiful? I mean, I get excited about, I always use that quote everywhere, everyone's suffering. I said, pain is necessary until it serves its surface and you grasp the lesson, then it will leave. And how can I not leave out my dear, well, our dear friend, Lebanese poet, Khalil Gibran. I know I pronounced that poorly for my Lebanese friends. Pain is the breaking of the shell that encloses your understanding. Okay, so what happens when we overcome this suffering, this trauma? There's so many different words that can be used. One is an awakening. You experience some type of awakening. Another is a shift, like you may have heard of this word before, gone through a shift. And another one might be enlightening. I never walk around telling anybody that I'm enlightened. But what changes when you go through suffering? Nothing absolutely changes, but my dear friends, everything in the way you see what happened to you. that other person who did you wrong, the job you lost, your former boss, you begin to see the events in a different light. Wayne Dyer captured this brilliantly when he said, when you begin to change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And when that happens, and this I can feel personally, you begin to hear the music behind the noise. You begin to see the sun behind the clouds. We're around unconscious people and events every day. Try, my dear friends, to play your playlist of songs and hear those beautiful tunes. Because when you do, you will no longer feel the burden or hurt of the noise or the person or situation that did you wrong. You begin to see the divine in everything, everywhere, and in everyone. Great. Felice, how? This is great. I love what you're saying, but this is all theory. Tell me how. I want this so-called shift that you're telling me, or this. Well, I'm glad you asked, and I'm very prepared to answer, because I knew you were going to ask this question, my dear friends. Well, I don't have the answer. I didn't come up with the answer. History did, and millions of people that walked before us. Wise sages, saints, spiritual teachers, they all handed out a certain key ingredients that will alleviate the pain and make this life feel so much lighter, so much more joyful. As Rumi said, and I repeat again, a different quote, there is not one single way to kneel down and kiss the ground, which means everyone has their own path, their own route that will lead them to alleviate this pain. But there are a few key ones that keep on surfing over and over and over again. From the hundreds of books I've read, thousands of hours of podcasts and videos I consume because I enjoy the subject so much, there are certain key ingredients that I can assure will work for you. The first one is patience. The Dalai Lama loves patience. He says it's the supreme means for transcending suffering. Or in simple terms, as Anne Lamott said, a famous, well-known American writer, she said, left foot forward, right foot forward, left foot forward, breathe. Beautiful. What does she mean by this? One day at a time, 1 week at a time. As we say in Cyprus, siga siga. Right, Francesca? And Walid? So, patience is one of the key ingredients. I want to share another story that will shed some light on what else it takes to overcome pain and suffering in our life. A wise monk walks in the forest with a younger monk, and the younger monk kept on asking several questions, and the senior monk calmly replied to all of them. And at the end of the walk, the wise monk turned to the younger one and said, I just have one question for you. And when you understand this, you will understand the meaning of leading a beautiful life. Oh my gosh. The young monk was so excited. And the senior monk pointed to a huge rock, huge boulder. And he said to the younger monk, "Is that rock heavy?" And the young monk said, "Yes." And the senior monk said, "It's heavy only if you pick it up." And what does the rock symbolize? Those thoughts. We want to capture every thought that comes. He said, she said, he did, they did. And all of that is weighing us down and down, and it feels heavy and heavier and heavier. So what do we do with the rocks that we're already carrying? You put them down. Okay, Thales, how do you put them down? Well, this is one of the most difficult challenges we humans face. We have to surrender. That's right. We have to surrender to what is, to what already happened. But no, your ego will not accept that. Your ego wants drama. Your ego wants you to suffer. So, how do you surrender? One of the most important words, if I had 5 in all of this talk this evening, is the word acceptance. When you are able to accept the unacceptable, you are free. You are free and you are flying through life. It's very hard to accept the unacceptable. But Thich Nhat Hanh, who is the living Buddha, a Vietnamese Buddha, gave a beautiful reply to a gentleman who had a very poor relationship with his father. And I will share this story with you because it will show you how we can learn to accept even the unconscionable. And the young man could not forgive his father. And Thich Nhat Hanh said, "You don't have to forgive your father in person. First, you must make amends with the Father that lives inside of you." This is so, so beautiful, so deep. He suggested that he has a dialogue and conversation. Take long walks and talk to the Father that lives inside of you. And over time, the burden will feel lighter and lighter and lighter. And when you are able to heal the relationship with your Father inside, you don't even have to heal the relationship directly with your Father. Is it more important to be right or to be free, my friends? And this young gentleman became free. He made amends with the Father that lived inside of him. Compassion, brothers and sisters, compassion. I hope I'm not tiring you all. It is late. I have a few more stories and we'll end there, okay? Another very important ingredient for enjoying this beautiful life we have is gratitude. And when I say gratitude, I mean extreme, radical gratitude. And what do I mean by this? Let me ask you all a question. Throughout the day, do you spend more time thinking about the things you want that you don't have? Or are you thinking about the things you have and are so grateful for? Well, I can assure you, if you are more grateful for even the little things that you have, we're fortunate. We have an internet connection. We have a home. We're blessed. But I have met people who have much less than us in Brazil and are so grateful for what they have, the very little that they have. I remember watching a video of someone who lost his arms and legs. And he was so grateful for his new life that he said if God came back to offer his former life with his arms and legs, he wouldn't want them back, because he realized he was much more than how he looked, what he had, and he was grateful for breathing the air. As my friend Dr. Igor would say, tells us every morning he wakes up and he kisses his hands and says, thank you, thank you, thank you. If there is one prayer we should say, it is that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Nothing else. Gratitude, my dear friends, very, very important for being a happy person. Okay? I was going to include another story, but it's getting late for you all. I would like to end, though, at the reminder that we should all try our best to play the songs that are embedded within us, that are in all of you, the songs of compassion, of empathy, of forgiveness, of acceptance. If we play these songs, I can assure you life would be so much lighter, so much less of a burden. It is an exercise. That is our practice. That is our daily practice. And I would like to end again with the wise words of Miss Sophia and St. Paul, that in the end, only love remains. And as Jesus said, let's just love one another. Thank you, everybody. That's
Where's
it.
the last story? Why you missed the last story?
Oh, the last story. Okay, you have it. Okay, I'll include that then. Okay.
Yeah, we love your stories.
Okay. Okay, rewind a little bit. Okay, pretend I didn't end it. I wanted to relay a story that someone brought to my attention. She saw in a romantic comedy. And believe it or not, I'm not big into romantic comedies, but when she described the scene, I wanted to watch this particular scene. I'm kind of customizing it a little bit and tailoring it to give it more meaning to this particular journey we're on. I want you all to imagine the busiest street in your hometown. Okay? Maya, Francesca, Rita, Joseph, I want you all to walk in the middle of this street and stay there. What's going to happen? Beep, 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 get out of my way, you idiot. Move. Chaos, noise. This is our life every day often, isn't it? The chaos, the troublemakers, the he's and the she's and the they's disturbing our peace of mind. but there is a way. Now imagine there's an elevator. Now, this is a science fiction movie, so there is an elevator on this road, okay? And we're going to enter this elevator. And this elevator is symbolizes the shift, the long journey to the top. The top floor is love, okay? But we're on the ground floor. That's where the pain is, often is. We press the first floor, still hurts, still hurts. Second floor, third floor. Then we arrive at a level that's near acceptance. Ooh, this is beginning to feel light now. That chaos, I can't hear it anymore. Then we arrive at the very top and we look down. We're still at the same location, okay? But we are observing the chaos and absurdity of it all from a different vantage point. This is exactly what I mentioned to you before, the shift, that nothing changes on an absolute level, but in the way you are seeing the world now, you're beginning to see the world in its totality. You begin to see, well, first of all, you begin to see how small your problems are, okay? And I have a 1-minute clip to share with you that will put into perspective how small we are and how small our problems are, as large as you may think them to be. My wife might say something that will upset me. That doesn't even register on the totality of this universe. Okay? Oh, we have a dog joining us too. Hi, doggy, doggy. Okay, let me play this video. Just a second, everybody. Let me open it. Okay. And just a second. Just a second. Share screen. Can you see the video, Rita?
No, I see the whiteboard.
Okay, wait. Okay, here it is. I got it. Okay, here we go.
Yay!
Okay, everybody. Now, I will press play and I want you to imagine we're all down in this park, okay? That's where a lot of our problems happen. Ground floor, the chaos, the noise, the problems, okay? Now, absorb this clip. It's about 1 minute long. And let's go on this journey together. Okay, now tell me, what was your problem? Yes, exactly. I often think of this clip, and when I'm in some strange situations and I somehow those crazy situations disappear and float along with one of those stars out there. So, okay, everybody, I hope you enjoyed the presentation. I really enjoyed sharing this message. And great to see familiar faces and unfamiliar people I've never met before. And uh, Reri is from Brazil, right? Reri?
I lived in Rio
Okay.
and was greatly befriended by Stahis and Joy and family
Oh,
in
nice.
1971. So long time ago. So I live in Seattle now, and I just have a rainy day dog who needed comforting. But
Thank you.
wonderful to meet you. Wonderful to
Thank
hear
so
you
much.
too.
Thank you for sharing that. Stahis is like a second father, a mentor, and someone I love very, very much.
I do too. He's wonderful.
Okay, let me see. I don't know who else do we have on board here. Okay, Marina, Maya, Walid, Francesca, Joseph. Okay, and Rita. Okay, great. Rita, you're the moderator. How does it work from here?
I just want to say that I loved your talk. I loved it. I'm gonna listen again when the recording. Gonna be sending it to everyone, and I'm gonna listen again. Thank you so much, Thalise. You're always an inspiration, and you just motivational and inspiring. Thank you so much. And I'm sure, I mean, the mic is to everyone who wants to ask a question or to comment. We have like, I mean, I don't know, 5 minutes, or it's up to everyone if anyone
Well,
wants.
this asking a question was the most uncomfortable part of this Zoom session because
You want to cut it off?
I'm not a certified psychologist, psychiatrist.
No, ask about your okay, no
My,
question.
my credentials are life experiences, the same as all of you here
Yeah.
on Zoom.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you everyone for coming, and thank you, Thalise, for accepting to share your journey.
Oh, Deanna, and also thank you for your donations, everybody. It means a lot because I know if you're here, you all donated. It's for a great cause. Rita, thank you for this incredible initiative. This is Breathe with Beirut, the second time she is doing this, and she's been gaining a lot of publicity. She's been on the news, I believe, this afternoon, Rita.
Yeah, and I hope it makes a difference. I hope we get more donations. I hope we get to help Beirut even more and more. And help the Lebanese. I mean, what I'm seeing now with the therapy sessions and all the talks and everything, it's being very beneficial for the people who are joining from Lebanon, and that is a heart opening, seriously.
Okay. Anybody want to say something before we head back to our offline life? Joseph, can you unmute Joseph, Rita?
It is unmuted. He needs to unmute himself. It is unmuted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, it was nice to listen to you, Thalise. You remind me of your father, and I am proud of you. I don't know you very well, and it's a very nice speech. I congratulate you. Very nice.
Thank you, Joseph.
And, it's good this what Rita is doing with this Breathe for Beirut. But I was wondering, I mean, is she only donating food? This money is not going to rebuild houses?
The first Breathe with Beirut one was was fixing doors and windows for the destroyed houses, which were in emergency needs for the people to get back home before winter. And we raised a little bit over $5,000 and fixed about over 10 houses, helped to fix, to help the initiative that was building houses, fixing houses. now because of Christmas and because of winter, we are donating food for Christmas food boxes because there's high need for food. There's hunger beyond belief.
I know.
And clothes. Yes, they are basically the money you're donating. You're picking the food, but it's going to go to Help Heal Lebanon, who is a charity of. It's not a charity. It's a group of two families, two women with their husbands and kids, and they're helping 120 families with food, clothes, school supplies, even school tuitions. If they get enough money to pay tuitions, they're doing that. And that's just heart opening for me. And the more they can help, the more we can help, the more they can help. And the elderly, there's Zuruni is helping the elderly who are alone and even have, like, their homes were destroyed and they have no one to help them. So this is Zuruni and Help Heal Lebanon that I chose to support because of that. That's why the food.
Okay.
But basically, my concern is that everything we are gathering as funds, I know that's going to these two charities who are helping the people, whether it is food or clothes. Now, the food on the website, because it's easy for you to pick stuff and to fill the Christmas boxes. And anything that goes above the Christmas boxes, then they will be buying clothes, they will be buying blankets, anything that the family. And my concern is where the money is going. So I know where the money is going. That was number one for me before doing any fundraising. That's why I didn't want to deal with any money. The money goes straight to them, not even paying them. They pay their bills. Imagine, it doesn't even give them money.
They are buying the food from Lebanon. Yes, you are not shipping. You are not shipping anything.
No. You know, the shipping goes to the airport. Where does it go from the airport? Bye. Doesn't show up.
You are right.
The money is going straight, not even money to them. They paid the donation platform pays their bills. Wow. So they don't even give them money. So this is
okay. Give them vouchers or something.
Yeah. Thank you. I thank everyone who's donating. I'm seriously.
Rita, where are you based? Where are you based?
I'm in Cyprus.
Rita is in. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Good.
Yeah, every little amount counts. That's why, like, even if someone can afford only $10, that's fine. It's okay. Just it accumulates, and I'm.
Yeah. We shall meet one day. Salis, introduce me. Yes, I don't know Rita.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I'm in Cyprus.
Absolutely. When the borders open.
No, I am in Cyprus. Are you based in Cyprus? You said no.
Yeah, I am. But the borders, they closed Limassol and Paphos.
You are in Paphos.
I'm in Larnaca.
You are in Larnaca. Okay, I am in Limassol. Okay, Rita. Okay.
So thank you, everyone. Thank you, really.
Thank you, everybody. Once again, thank you. Thank you so much. Good night.
Thank you, Thalles.
Thank you. Thank you for organizing. Thank you for your lovely speech. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Bye.
Rita.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.